Hello, and welcome to Cannabis, the podcast. I'm your host, Dr. Tori Rarick. Each episode will feature a candid conversation about how the cannabis plant has positively impacted individuals' wellness and bliss. Here to honor the plant and have fun. Today's episode is brought to you by Moon Mother Hemp Company. Family owned and operated, Moon Mother provides premium CBD wellness products made from USDA certified organic hemp grown in Boulder, Colorado. They're committed to organic, sustainable, and environmentally responsible farming practices and offer their customers a 100% satisfaction guarantee. For 20% off your order, click the link in the show notes and use code CANNABIS. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the show. Today, I have on Jessica Bates of Moon Mother Hemp Company, and welcome to the show. I'm so excited to have you on, Jess, just to talk about ethically sourced, certified organic hemp and all that you're doing for the industry. So, Jess, why don't you tell us a little bit about you and Moon Mother?
Hey, Tori, thank you so much for having me on. It's so much fun to be on one of your first podcasts. I can't wait to see just all of the amazing people that you have on and hear the conversations that take place on this.
Totally.
So Moon Mother Hemp Company is our company. We're based in Boulder, and we just celebrated our 1-year anniversary of creating Moon Mother Hemp Company, the idea, the products, the farm, and all that it is. My husband and I are the co-owners and the founders. And last year, around this time, we decided to combine our love for plants, our knowledge about cannabis and plant medicine, and go all in on a hemp farm together and a CBD company.
Yay.
And yeah, it's been completely awesome. And also a steep learning curve.
Definitely. I can understand that, growing your own business. Okay, so Jess, I love to ask each of my guests, what was your first encounter with cannabis like?
So my first encounter with cannabis was obviously, as it is for a lot of people, pretty amazing. I want to say that I was 13, going on 14, late in the summer. My best friend Nicole and I used to hang out with these older kids in the neighborhood, and they kind of one time were like, "Oh, let's smoke a joint," and I was like, "Okay, definitely," And my
Wow.
my friend and I were like, "Okay, let's do it." And so we were hanging out with them, and we smoked a joint, and we were kind of just like walking home after that, and we were pretty lit, and because obviously it was our first time.
Totally.
And we were just out there, and I remember, it was a really long time ago, but I do remember stopping on the road on our way to my friend Nicole's house, and we just kind of like stopped on the corner, and I don't even remember what we were laughing about, but we were laughing there for a really long time. And I feel like we were in slow motion. Everything was just kind of like in slow-mo. And I think we may have even sat down. We were I was literally like doubled over laughing. And it was so amazing. It was so expansive and so just funny. And in those days, everything was so like carefree and just hilarious. And of course, then later in your life, you get more introspective and expansive with cannabis. But at that point, in those very early times, it was so about laughing with my friends, and like all of my girlfriends would get together on the weekends. We would have like sleepovers all together, and we would all get blazed 13, 14, 15,
wow.
And just, all just like crack up and just play jokes and be silly. And it really was the best.
That's really amazing.
Those were really fun times. I had a really cool group of girls that I hung out with at that age. And we all, everybody liked to smoke cannabis, and everybody love to just like crack up and have a fun time. So that's how it
Totally.
was back then, and it was really amazing. And I remember specifically that very first time, um, after getting high with our friends when we were walking home, just standing on that corner laughing for so long, and we had no idea what we were even laughing about, and it was just on from there.
Mhm.
It was just on,
That's awesome.
yeah,
I
and
love
that
that.
sparked like a 21-year relationship with cannabis so far.
For me, I had the whole paranoia situation. I didn't want to try it again. So to just hear about like right off the bat, you hitting it off with Mary Jane, that's comforting. I like that story.
Oh, absolutely. It
So
was a total love affair right off the bat.
and so it continued, but did it influence your path to being an herbalist? How did it start influencing you in that way?
So I want to say that cannabis definitely influenced my path in general. And, I dabbled in herbalism in high school, and I was really interested in herbal medicine and not even really considering cannabis as an herb at that point because it was so recreational for me and not so much medicinal yet.
Mm-hmm.
But I want to say that the ways that cannabis has affected my path toward herbalism is more in the spiritual sense, in kind of like guiding me on my path in this way where I've expanded my mind, become introspective, self aware. And I guess through cannabis, I see so many people really learning to know their truest and deepest selves because you are in a state of expansion and deep awareness through
Mm-hmm.
cannabis a lot of times, and I feel like through those through those methods of expansion and introspection, you can really learn to know yourself and know what's good for you. And I grew up in the Midwest, and there was so much pressure to live a specific type of life that there were many moments where I was tempted to fall into a lifestyle that I feel would not have really supported me and my
Yeah.
happiness and fulfilled me. And I feel that in many different ways, cannabis has kept me on my true path to living my destiny and to becoming an herbalist through, like I said before, self awareness and really growing to know myself and my insides and my deepest desires, but also through um, the interesting way that cannabis can kind of close doors for you in the Midwest. Um,
Right.
and
Wow.
doors that I felt were, even at times when I felt like those doors were closing and that was a bad thing, really what it was keeping me on my path and keeping me moving toward my life's destiny. And so, you know, um,
I love that you're saying this. I am like resonating with it 100%. I too grew up in the Midwest. Um, and I just, even though you were using it so quote unquote recreationally, a gathering that I was just at this weekend, we were talking about using cannabis for pain, and someone piped up and said, I use cannabis for my spiritual pain. And I was like, yes, babe, that is so true for me. And what you're saying with the opening and closing of doors, that was really true for me recently, leaving the pharmacy industry. And it was like, that's just something I didn't really want to give up. It has guided me so well and so delicately. I hear what you're saying with the opening and closing the doors. It definitely has been guiding me. So I feel that.
absolutely. In the Midwest, when you're a cannabis user, you're considered like a rebel or on the fringe, and it can be something that causes conflict. For me, there was multiple aspects of my life that were in conflict because of my cannabis use. Conflict with my family, conflict with my schooling, and conflict with the police. And
Mhm.
so those kinds of situations where you're in conflict with the community around you because of your cannabis use can sometimes guide you into a scenario where you're not in conflict. And
Right.
so, my it led me to Colorado.
Yeah.
It exactly. It led me to the school where I learned about herbalism. It led me to my path in herbalism and nutrition, postpartum wellness, and so it really has guided me on my path and led me to a life that's truly fulfilling.
I love that so much. I respect that. And so, this podcast is mainly about cannabis. And so, as an herbalist, you've mentioned to me before that like cannabis is not any different than any other herb in your house. So, yes, I'm excited to talk about this one plant specifically, but enjoying and understanding cannabis has really opened my mind as a pharmacist and someone really versed in Western medicine to the power of plants. So I don't know if you want to speak on that at all, just how cannabis is one and the same in your household and can be respected in the same way as others.
Absolutely. And so, the plant itself, I guess like I said before about how when I was younger, I didn't even really consider cannabis to be an herbal medicine. And it wasn't until after I was an herbalist and wasn't using cannabis recreationally that I started to really understand cannabis as a plant medicine and as a beneficial botanical herb. And so, in our house, it is very much the same as, say, motherwort or chamomile or anything else. So we grow all kinds of medicinal plants in our garden, including cannabis. And for myself and for my children, um, there really is no distinction. It's not it. I mean, it's an amazing and extremely special plant, but it's not. There's no stigma attached to it in my
Mm-hmm.
household. And of course, my children are young, so we're not there yet. But
Right.
we're trying to instill in them the fact that cannabis is medicine, and they don't know the difference. They see one plant, where we have dried chamomile, we have dried roses, we have dried cannabis, we have this, we have that, and
Mm-hmm.
of course, everything is used in its appropriate capacity. But many people, and especially people in the cannabis industry, they see cannabis as this main herb and the main focus of all of their products. And of course, in the cannabis industry, that's the way it is. But
Right.
for me, I see, so you can have cannabis as the main action herb in a formula, but it can also be one of the underlying supporting herbs. It doesn't always, so in my herbal formulation, cannabis isn't always the main action herb. Sometimes it's supporting, sometimes it's a driving herb. And so it really is no difference. It's interchangeable with the other herbs in our life here in my family.
And that's something I do want to get into. So I do want to talk about, the care that you put into the Moon Mother products because that's kind of why we're here. But before we get into that, I want to know if there was like a distinctive moment where you really were dedicated to the plant. What was your call to honor this plant?
Honoring a plant has actually never been a question for me. The sheer amount of self-discovery and expansion that I have experienced through my cannabis use has always kept me, living in reverence for the plant. You know, when I was younger, I would be really in awe of the plant and my experiences, and including just very clear revelations, psychic moments, really in tune, in depth moments that I really wasn't getting any other way. That was my first initial experience, the initial steps towards expansion at all. and a psychic awareness, and also in tune with plants around me. I felt very in tune with the plant. And so I've always lived kind of like in reverence of the plant. I mean, it's always been a very sacred plant to me. And so it just is very in tune with my life to continue to honor the plant in the way that we do with Moon Mother Hemp Company.
Awesome. I love that. And so with Moon Mother Hemp Company, you're quite unique. Cannabis is becoming very popular. It's an interesting business venture for some people, but I know the heart of your mission isn't about the money, isn't about the novelty. It's beyond that. So do you want to share the mission? I'd love to go over that.
Absolutely. So the mission of Moon Mother is not only to provide the cleanest possible supplements and body care products, but to also do so in a way that helps preserve the environment for generations to come. As I said, I have two little daughters, and I feel really motivated as a mother to protect the environment and give back as much as we're taking. And so it's it's not all about just using the cannabis to make money. It's not about using this specific plant as a money making venture. It's about giving back to the plant as well, and giving back to the environment, and trying to stay as environmentally responsible as we can on this journey as a company, which is hard in this day and age.
Can you think of any business decisions that you have really tailored to your mission of being ethical and responsible and all of that? That's one of the things that I love about working for you, is like everything that I saw at face value as a consumer. Once I transitioned to being an employee, it was like, wow, okay, this woman is really living her truth. We're recycling, we're composting, we're really in it. So what decisions have been tailored to your mission?
Yeah, I can definitely think of quite a few. So one of them being product packaging. And as we've discussed a ton at the store and in the company, it's product packaging is a lot. So everything that we use as a company is basically our responsibility. We're responsible for bringing that into the world and creating a want and a need. And so for instance, our bath salts are in glass jars versus the very convenient Mylar bags or pouch bags that people will use. Not only are the glass jars heavier and more expensive, but they are more expensive to ship. And so, this is a way in which we don't cut costs and remain in our truth and walk our talk. We pay a little bit more. We go the extra mile to make sure that what we're putting into the environment can be recycled or reused. You can easily wash these jars out and reuse them. So we really try to focus on environmentally responsible product packaging, and also clean and ethically sourced products. So we really, really try to source our products either locally or fair trade. All of our cocoa butter is fair trade. Many of the butters and waxes and oils and all of the ingredients, we really try to ethically source them from companies that are really doing right. And we do the legwork and we do the investigation. We make sure that what we're getting is high quality, but also ethical.
Right. And that's something that I really admire about you too. It's like, you've been in business for a year, but in that time you've continued to make edits and improve yourselves. I think just within one of the first weeks of working with you, we had a conversation with a customer about changing the oil that you use for the tincture, anytime that you get new information on this might be better for the consumer, this would be healthier, this would be cleaner, you begin implementing that.
Absolutely. And, we're always looking for the next level of responsible. And so a friend of mine just recently turned us on to a company who does refillable packaging. And so one of the only plastic pieces to our packaging is the dropper top. And, she turned us on to an aluminum lid as a refillable option. And so those who already have the plastic dropper top could keep that. And so that's an upcoming thing that we'll be implementing into the company. And it's a way of, like I said, walking our talk. And we love new ideas, and we love the input from our community about how we could be doing it better.
Yeah, you're definitely listening to the consumer as well. So that's really important. Most of your products are full spectrum. Why did you choose that?
Oh, absolutely. Because as an herbalist, we know that all aspects of the plant are working synergistically to create a healing effect. And cannabis is no different. We treat cannabis the same way that we do other herbs, and we use the whole plant medicine instead of isolating out the compounds.
So one of the things that I wanted to get to was talking about the topicals. We have a couple that I really admire your work on, and I just think are standout products in the CBD world because you as an herbalist have taken so much time and care in formulating them. So tell us a bit more on how you've decided on the formulations of the topicals.
Absolutely. And so the topicals are kind of like my baby. The formulations there, especially in the balms, have been really close and dear to me because they are so effective and extremely unique. The product formulations themselves are what makes the product so special. So it's all about the synergistic effects of the plant working with all of the herbs, all of the different herbs in the product working synergistically with the full spectrum hemp extract. It's not just about adding CBD to a lotion base or adding CBD to olive oil and beeswax. It's about the care that we've put into these products. It's about the weeks and weeks of infusion into the oils. It's all about taking care to bring the very best and highest quality ingredients as well as CBD to the customers.
Yes. And jumping off of that, I know that you've explained to me that some people so there's 4 balms that we have at the time. We have the All Heal, we have the Muscle Balm, Joint Muscle, we have Dream Balm, and we have Wise Woman, which Wise Woman is intended to be used, for menstrual relief, menstrual cramping, backache, whatever. But you have told me that some consumers come in and they like the Wise Woman for pain relief over the joint or muscle, and how it has the label Wise Woman, but truly what to look for are the ingredients and how those work with your body.
Absolutely. And so certain things to consider are the particular terpenes in the other plants. And so people consider like a terpenes specific to cannabis, but the essential oils that we use, they all have terpenes. They all have specific healing effects that work in very specific ways, especially in combination with cannabis and CBD. The way it all works together, and the way that the specific terpenes from different plants that we use, different herbs, different essential oils, will help drive the cannabis and the full spectrum extract to a specific part of your body, to a specific effect, is a big part of these herbal formulations.
You've done such a good job. You've created such a calm environment and such quality product that it's very easy to help a person out. And so thank you for that. Just a side note.
Absolutely. It's my pleasure. And it's so amazing to have you on the team.
So I love the tinctures. That's the way that I like to take my CBD. But recently we've brought on the capsules. And so why did you decide to bring those on?
The 30 count 10 milligram capsules are a really nice way for people to get their feet wet. It's low investment and low in dosage, so people can try it out and feel a little bit more comfortable and not feel like they're going all in with their pocketbook.
Right,
Um,
exactly.
yeah, and although, of course, the tinctures are my favorite way, there are some of the older crowd and some of the non-cannabis users who really are way more they're really more turned on by a capsule.
Right.
That's the way they want to take their medicine. That's the way they're used to taking their medicine, and they feel more comfortable for some
Sure.
reason because it's a capsule versus a tincture.
A really fun product that I'd like to talk about is the Glow Skin Serum.
So the Glow Skin Serum is one of our best sellers. It's been a really hot product. And one of the reasons why is because CBD has been so beneficial to people's skin health. And so, of course, the formula is not just CBD and oil, it's a combination of skin healing, wound healing herbs and full spectrum hemp extract in nourishing jojoba oil with
Mm.
frankincense and rose oil. And it is extremely beneficial to the skin. We see people having amazing results with it. It's amazing for acne as well as rosacea, benefits for regular to dry skin.
Oh, I love rose. Anytime you put rose in something, I'm there. So, one of the ways you're able to confidently create these clean products is your relationship with the plants. You have a very hands on relationship with the hemp that you grow. Can you tell us a bit about that and the farm?
Absolutely. So, as you know, last year was our first year farming hemp outdoors and growing cannabis outdoors, and so it was a steep learning curve. And we had the help of our master farmer Wyatt of Red Wagon Organic Farm behind us. We had the knowledge of hemp and cannabis that my husband and partner Edward brought to the table, and the large scale farming knowledge that Wyatt brought. And really, it was a truly amazing experience being able to plant every single plant and start everything from seed. We literally planted every single seed in the farm by hand. My
Mhm.
husband and I and our crew, we planted every single seed. And of all the days of walking the field and examining the plants, getting to know the plants, watching them grow, tending to them, cultivating, we literally knew every single plant in that field personally. We had a personal relationship with every single plant, not only because we started them from seed, they were our little babies, but because we tended to them daily and we watched them grow. And we harvested them by hand, us and our extremely high vibe crew. And it was very special, and so we can definitely feel confident in knowing that these are high vibration, healthy, um, medicinal plants that we're bringing to the table and putting in our supplements and our topicals and bringing to our community and our family and our friends.
That's really magical. For anyone who's just maybe like skeptical about CBD or doesn't know where to start with all of the influx of information, what would you say is like a good starting point, or what's important to know about CBD? You don't necessarily have to give us the full details, but what do you think is worth looking into about CBD?
Absolutely. And so the thing that speaks to me the most is our endocannabinoid system. And
Mhm.
so there's all this joking about how we don't have an NSAID or a Tylenol system. We don't have an opioid system. We have an endocannabinoid system. And so our bodies were literally made to take in the plant. We were literally made to have a relationship with cannabinoids. And so that's something to really sit with and think about when you're feeling skeptical about CBD. Why then do we have this system of receptor sites in our body that was literally made to accept cannabinoids?
Right.
And for cannabinoids to bind to these receptor sites, it really feels like a match made in heaven.
Thank you so much for coming on the show today, Jess. What's next for Moon Mother Hemp?
Okay, what's next for Moon Mother Hemp? Of course, we have a couple of different products, new products on the horizon, which we'll be introducing in the next few months. Special things to look forward to. And also some of our goals as a company, one, to become fully 100% vertically integrated, and second, to have the USDA certified organic product. So as you know, our hemp, the farm that we grow on, and the hemp itself is USDA certified organic. All of the ingredients that we use are also certified organic. And the next step is getting that certified organic label, making sure that our products can be called USDA certified organic through the vertical integration and an organic facility, an organic bottling facility.
Whoa, 2019 is going to be good.
Absolutely. So we have big plans for that. And of course, it's hard work, and it takes working day and night to fulfill these goals, but it's definitely worth it to have that third-party verification on our organic status, and to show the consumers that Moon Mother Hemp Company is definitely a clean and trustworthy company.
What events do you have coming up?
At the retail location in Boulder, Colorado, we have what we call Third Thursday Tea Talks. And this is an educational series on all aspects of hemp and cannabis. And we hold them third Thursday of every month at 5 o'clock at the retail location, 2425 Canyon Boulevard in Boulder. And drop by and see us there and catch any of those classes. We'll be there having fun, serving up hemp tea and talking about cannabis. We also will be at Hanuman Festival, Yoga Festival in Boulder this summer. We will be at the NoCo Hemp Expo coming up here in March. We'll also be at the Telluride Yoga Festival, having fun, slinging Moon Mother products and doing some yoga.
Yeah, that's awesome. And I know that an event that you sponsor that is recurring would be the Tocativity event. That's a women's event. And I had a great time last time. And so we'll be at the March event, correct?
Absolutely. We will always be at the Tocativity events. We love Tocativity so much, and all of their work that they're doing with women in cannabis, and helping to close that gender gap a little bit and promote women in the cannabis industry. We love supporting them, love their mission, love the fun that we have at those events, how they're so fulfilling, and we love to fill our cup up at the Tocativity events.
Yes, check them out. So big year for you. It's only been 1 year and you've done a ton. So I can't wait to see what occurs in 2019.
Yes, thank you. It's been a huge year. It's been awesome. And we're extremely lucky to have such a high vibration, dedicated, educated group of people on our team. And we're looking forward to bringing on new people this year as well. So yeah, thanks for joining us on our team, Tori.
Yeah, so great. I just want to say thank you for coming on the show tonight. Thank you so much for the code for the audience to give a try, and I'll see you tomorrow.
Yeah, I will see you there.
Okay. Thank you so much for tuning in to Cannabis, the podcast. Don't forget to subscribe and give a 5-star rating. You can find more information about mindfulness and what I do at tidytour.com. Follow the Cannabis over to Instagram and connect with me through direct message anytime. Big love.